I just want to talk a little bit about what she meant to me. For those of you that don't know, I'm Crystal, and I am the middle child. Mom was an amazing woman, wife and mother, and I'm grateful for the close relationship that we had. Over the past few weeks, whenever I sat down to write about Mom and all she meant to me, it seemed an impossible task. There are simply too many examples of her unconditional love, kindness, forgiveness, generosity, humor, talents, and character to distill into just a few minutes. Mom was a mentor and teacher to her family as well as countless others through her life. Like my sisters have said, we inherited a great heritage, and I tried to learn all I can or could from her. However, I never inherited her love of shopping. I didn't much like going shopping with her. I couldn't keep up. But one thing I did notice was most of the time, she was getting something for somebody else. And I certainly didn't inherit her love for bluegrass gospel music. But I did try to learn as much as I could to cook those comfortable Southern meals that she would cook. That comes from the Best family. I think they all got the cooking gene. It was a bit difficult because her cooking classes consisted of explanations like, you fill this pot, and you add this, and then you cook it down. I don't have that pot, Mom. Well, you just cook it until it's done. So she had recipes. I think she followed some of them, but that wasn't just her forte. She used cooking and preparing meals as a language of love. There were not many dinners with family that we didn't have someone else sit down at the table with us. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. There were so many memories around those tables. I know today a lot of times we rush around and we grab a bite here and grab a bite there, but those were times that we sat and discussed everything. I remember coming home after church, and if you were Pentecostal, you know that meant 10, 11 o'clock p.m. And you sat around the table and you talked about God, you talked about church, you talked about problems. You had a laugh or two. Dad had a joke or two that Mom didn't get. Then late at night, we used to tease her that when she got upstairs and got in bed, we'd probably hear her laugh because she got it then. Her hospitality extended to everyone she met. As I was growing up, I remember her treating others like family. I remember friends that moved into the basement because they didn't have a place to go. I'm sorry. Some of my favorite conversations with Mom were in the car. She loved to go. I think Rachel got that gene. She loved to drive, as you know, and for years she used the CB radio to check on where the Smokies were. so she could put the pedal to the metal. Oh, yeah. But she also enjoyed patrolling around the campgrounds after service to make sure that all us young people were inside at curfew time. I don't know how my friends always got found, but I never got found. But later on, if she did see me, she'd roll down that window. Crystal, come over here. What are you doing? Oh, Mom, I was just on my way to the bathroom. I'm heading back now. Okay. I love you. Some people say, I love you too much. They, just flippantly say it all the time. Mom said it and meant it every single time. And when she said goodbye to you, you would hear it. I love you. It was like a reminder. When you go, you may be away from me. Remember, I love you. She did not stand up behind the pulpit very much, but she taught people and everybody she met silently with her actions and her character. Well, she did give advice freely, and she began with the phrase we teased her about, I know what your problem is.
Sounds like Cindy.
She had strong opinions, but everything she did came from a loving heart. Many memories I have of Mom involve driving, but they also involve kitchens, at home, at church camp meetings. She had a talent for organizing dinners and programs for hundreds of people. I took that for granted until it became our turn to host things and organize things, and I realized how much I learned from her. She mentored many people to do the same thing. There are people here who may remember her leadership skills as she asked them to peel hundreds of potatoes or stand and serve people or skin chickens so she could fry them. She led by example, but she did not brag on herself. Okay, I might have been her favorite because she was my cheerleader. That's a good laugh, Rachel. But she had a servant's heart. She served. She was a servant who carried herself regally and mostly in purple. As you've already heard, she was the same at home as she was at church or in her community. She was the most genuine person I have ever known in my life. Perhaps the memory, and I'm probably over time now because there's just too many memories, but perhaps the memory that lingers the most at this time is her voice. It's the same voice that would sweetly say when I got home late and I tried not to wake her, Crystal, is that you? She wanted to make sure all of her children were safe and sound under her roof. She sang a lot. She loved to sing. And lately, I've been remembering those times in the last few years where she learned that she could get music out of Alexa. Play Jimmy Swaggart. Alexa, play Jimmy Swaggart. And she she would sing to the songs that she loved. I will never forget many a night I would lay in bed and I would hear my mom's voice coming up over the loft, singing about heaven, singing about loving Jesus. It gave her peace. She had a peace from her love of God. I thought about how to end this and, to try to be poignant, or whatever that word is. And the only thing that I could come up with is, I'm sorry. I hope there is a saying, a Jewish saying that is read a lot at funerals, and I'll just paraphrase it, but I hope that when you leave, you take a little piece of Mom with you, and you show the same kind of love and kindness that she has shown in her life. And in that way, I believe if we could do that, that she will live on. She will live on. Thank you for being here.